having a good year. We're always used to them having a smash mouth, blah, 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 good year. They're not just the #1 defense in the league. Oh, no, 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 no. What they're doing now is historic, and it stacks up against really some of the greatest defense that this beautiful game that we love has ever seen. Let me show you what I mean. Here's what the Ravens are doing compared to the 2000 squad. That's who we compare them to, right? Well, we name other big defenses, 85 Bears, right? Compared to those are the two gold standards, right? We all agree? Great. This team averaging fewer yards per play. That 4.08 sticks out. It's the lowest we've seen in 15 years. In 15 years, they're also averaging fewer passing yards per game, and that's in an era where everybody's bananas, mad, and throwing like crazy. Where we've ever said, it's just like football, it's just offense, offense, offense. Okay, how about this? They already have as many sacks as the 2000 team had during the entire Super Bowl winning season. That's bonkers. That's wild. And part of what I love about this group in particular is that, yeah, sure you have, and you had your big piece, friend of the show, Roquan Smith, and you've got these household names, and that's fine. But it's not just those dudes, the marquee guys that are contributing. They have had, get this, they've had 13 different players with sacks already. 13. Marcus Williams, he's been in and out of the lineup. Backup Geno Stone. Geno Stone! He stepped in to lead the league in picks. Geno Stone has 6. This isn't just a TJ Watt or Myles Garrett or Aaron Donald or taking over, dominating, carrying the whole squad. 13, I said. This is the whole damn defense. They're bought in. You can just tell when you're watching the game. There's unselfishness is the energy there. And they're playing towards a larger goal right now. Huge credit to those players. Mike McDonald, their DC, of course, and they got a chance to really put a stamp on things this weekend. They got the Browns, and with all the talk about Myles Garrett, friend of the show, for DPOY, and Jim Schwartz on the other side, all of that, sure, that's fine, that's great. This defense can put an end to the argument once and for all if they do shut down the Browns offense and company. What they're doing is really historic and deserves just as much love. Like, I know I talk a lot about the Bengals, and Ravens fans are like, can you say something? I talk about y'all all the time, too. And Bengals fans actually weirdly don't seem to mind it because I think that they know and sort of respect what Baltimore's got going on. But it's a big, big game this week in the best division in the NFL. All right, I also think we're underreacting to the way the Eagles are winning. How are these things happening? I don't think anybody's surprised that they're 8-1. That's the exact record that they had through 9 games just a year ago on their road to the Super Bowl. But they're doing it in a very different way that deserves some love and real estate on our show and kind of everywhere around the NFL media circle. Last year, they won 14 games, right? They were leading or they were tied at half in 13 of those games, okay? The book on them was that if you let them get up early, you're in trouble. And, they're not really built to play from behind was a bit of the narrative following them around. Am I right, Marissa? Yes. I am. We did.
I didn't even answer.
It's okay. Yes. Okay. Well, here's it's kind of cool because this year, and they have the same record through 9, but they've totally flipped the script on that. After Sunday's win against Dallas, the game everyone was glued to their TV and excited for, they've won back-to-back games when trailing at the half. Okay, they're 3-0. They're undefeated this season when trailing going into the third quarter, and that's where things start to get a little bit wild, a little wonky, because not only are they the only team to win every game that they've trailed at the half this season, but they're in some legendary company when you check out the record books. I know this is kind of convoluted. Just follow me here. There are only 2 teams in NFL history to go 3-0 or better when facing a halftime deficit over the course of a season. Those teams are the undefeated 1972 Super Bowl champion Dolphins and the 1998 Vikings, who, of course, finished 15-1. And, I mean, it's just the most tortured fan base. How they didn't go to the Super Bowl that year, I don't know. Gary Anderson and all of that. There's still a lot of season left, but when you're doing that and you sort of enter into rarefied air, doing something only 2 of the most memorable teams in NFL history have done, it's worth noting, paying attention to, and giving it a little love to, especially given how it speaks to this whole team. And they're not just, we talked to Sirianni, for a long time. We've talked to a lot of the guys on this team who were at their training camp. What's the hangover like? What are we doing? Sirianni in August, late August, telling us he's still watching the Super Bowl loss, all of that. The question was like, are you going to pick up where you left off? And the answer is no, they didn't. They evolved. They didn't just say, let's keep this going. And I think that's really important, what we're seeing with this team. You can no longer, and there's some things they got to clean up, but you can't take out the old label maker and slap a thing that says, you know, they're a front runner. They can only win. No, I think it's a direct result of sort of the leveling up that we've seen from a very focused Jalen, A.J. Brown, their connection that continues to grow and evolve this year. And it's kind of a terrifying thought for the opposition, honestly. And while the Eagles may not be like, you know, want Marissa McBride, show her face. She's like, we got to clean some things up. I know they're not like this, like, crushing teams week in, week out thing that they were, and they were that now. They were that at this point in the season in 2022.
Correct.
But I do think that this sort of makes them weirdly more dangerous in a different way. What do you guys think? At Up and Adam Show, let us know. We'll see. I think Gronk's checking in, so we'll get some info from him or like what he thinks about that. Raiders getting that wild card, says Brandon Goebel. Okay, that's a little. You've been. Are you in? What is it? Ohio? Ohio legalized marijuana.
Genome
Was that big
Stone.
news? Nobody even.
I love it.
Putting the high in Ohio says, wow, our resident Goldfarb seems to know a lot about this. I don't know, Pam and Mark are watching. I don't know, Goldfarb. Watch out, buddy.
Sounds like a narc.
Guys, keep hitting us up at Up and Adam. Show. If you have questions for Gronk, let us know. Finally, I'll give you one more thing that I think we're underreacting to. I'm in on the Broncos. I'm in. They've had I don't know what we should call it, like a mini resurgence over the last few weeks, and like super quietly, they've won back-to-back games, including a win over the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. They have a split against them as far as the AFC West. They're done unless they make it into the playoffs, and they might, guys. They're a win. Guess what? They're a win over Buffalo for moving right back into the thick of the AFC playoff picture. 70 points on this defense. Doesn't that seem like a long, long time ago? It does, because it was. And if you take the defense, for example, we're underreacting. I mean, they were on pace to be one of the worst we've seen in the history of the league. 70 points, right? Sean Payton could have, and lots of people said he should have said, peace out, bye, to his defensive coordinator. But nope, Mr. Hothead Quickfire, Sean Payton sticks by Vance Joseph, and instead he makes moves to cut two of the biggest names they had on that side of the ball, and Randy Gregory and Frank Clark. And since then, I'm not going to just read the numbers. Read it and reap. The Broncos have gone from the worst team in the league, in all three of these categories, mind you, to one of the best. They're one of the best defenses in the league. That 15 points per game is the second fewest in the whole league over that span. 21 points fewer per game than what they'd been giving up over the first 3 weeks. It is as dramatic a midseason turnaround as you'll see if you look at the numbers. And I kind of think they're like, don't talk about this. Shut up, Kay. Shut up. They don't think they want it talked about. They just took down the Chiefs. Now they're off their bye week. And the offense, by the way, is picking it up. Russell threw, and slowly but surely, but it's all you want, right? They still got they got like the Vikings with Dobbs Magic. Sure, I think they got the Chargers twice. They got the Patriots. Like, are they about to go? They might. Russell Wilson threw 3 touchdown passes in that win over Kansas City. Denver, in a really physical game, racked up a season-high 153 on the ground as a team. So physical. And they're coming off a bye. Do you think Sean Payton will just, like, play round after round of golf at some lavish Discovery property or sleeping by the pool with a mojito in his hand? Maybe for some of that time, but no, he's a madman. I'm sure he took that bye and he's like, I'm ready to cook. Get me back. I want to do things. And I'm sure they're a bit reinvigorated and also confident. And I've already heard them moaning about their next game against the Bills on Monday Night Football. It's a horrible primetime game. I can't believe we're not flexing it out. What are we doing? Like, Samuel L. Jackson, hold on to your butts here for a second, everybody. I do think Denver is going to test a banged up Bills team. Not their fault. They're banged up, especially defense. And they very much miss Matt Milano and Trey Wright. And they're giving up a ton of yards after contact. I don't know if they make some turnovers on offense, like that feisty shot. I don't know. I know they're at home. That's a big deal. They could do it. And if they do, if they take down Buffalo, you got wins over your team. You got wins over Kansas City. They're going to send the whole AFC playoff picture into tumult, into complete chaos. You know, like that messy drawer everybody has? Everybody has one in their house somewhere. You know, there's like a ball of yarn and like a protractor and a compass and like a long match for some reason, foreign currency for rubber stamps, whatever it is. It is stuffed. It is a mess, and that is going to happen. And I think it happens. This game has a lot of intrigue, and this team has found a lot of confidence. So do not sleep on the Broncos. All right, I really took a whack into the Bills these past couple of days.